Today I'm going to talk to you about healthy food choices, making healthy food choices on a budget, because ultimately that is what's going to get you to your health and nutrition goals that you've set for yourself. So how can you do that? Right, well, this is quite simple really. Generally when you go into the supermarket, you will find that things that don't have a label on them are going to be the things that are in their raw state. And that sounds like a really obvious thing to say, but if you bear that in mind next time you go shopping, you will find that you are picking things up that haven't got a label to read. You know, if it's a packet of apples, obviously slightly different, but if it's an apple on its own, it's in its raw state, it's probably going to need a wash because it's likely to have some pesticides and things on it. So make sure you wash all your fruit and vegetables, and then from there you're going to be able to see that if it's a no label food, then it's generally going to be something that nature has intended for you to eat. So coupled with making healthy food choices, so there's lots of myths around healthy eating, and you see it in every magazine you pick up. You know, I revisit this a lot of times, but at the end of the day you generally can tap into your own gut feeling and know what you should be doing. So if you think about what we might have eaten years and years ago, before so many ready meals and so many packaged foods, you will tend to find that that is probably what's going to get you onto a healthy diet. So also, as well as that, with the packaging and that comes with the manufacturing, there also comes higher costs. So if you wanted to healthy eat on a budget, then keep your food natural. So you want to obviously eat lots of fruit and vegetables. Make sure you get at least 5 portions a day of these. And 5 portions is, for example, if you have 2 small fruits like a tangerine, that'll be 2 of those will be 1 portion. A bigger fruit, say like a banana, will be 1 portion. A broccoli head, if it's something like about the size of a light bulb, like an old-fashioned light bulb, something along those lines, a portion of protein should be about the size of your fist. So all of these little nuggets of information there you can use when you're trying to size up what it is that you should be eating. And the other thing to remember, it's very important, is that as nutritional therapists often will advise you, is that you want to follow the 80-20 rule. So what is the 80-20 rule? Well, basically, if you follow an 80-20 rule, you will be healthy eating, okay? So 80% of what you eat overall, so 80% of the time, you should be eating healthy, nutritious food. Things that are balanced, you know, your fruit, your vegetables, your protein, and of course you need your carbohydrates, which you can get through. Brown rice is a good substitute to have instead of white rice, because within that you've got lots of roughage and lots of fibre, which helps to keep your colon clean and will actually reduce the chances of you getting something like colon cancer. Now, it's very easy to sit and think, well, these sorts of things aren't going to happen to me, but why not put the steps in place? You know, it's just easy little changes here and there. Instead of having white bread, have brown bread. And also, it's not such a spike in your sugar levels as well. So you'll find that with eating brown bread, it will keep you sustained for longer. But back to the 80-20 rule, because this is important. And it gives you permission on the 80-20 rule to sometimes give yourself a bit of a break. So 80% of the time you're eating these balanced meals, these healthy, nutritious meals. And 20% of the time you can have some treats, okay? So if, for example, you were at a wedding, and generally wedding food can be quite healthy, you know, whether you're at a cold buffet or a hot, you know, served dinner, you're generally going to have something like a piece of meat, and then you're going to have your vegetables, generally a potato. So that's really balanced. You've got your vegetables in there, you've got your protein, and you've got your carbohydrates from the potato. So with that, it's going to be just, you're going to get a pudding, you're going to get some alcohol, you're going to get, you know, all these things that you think, oh, I really shouldn't eat that because I'm trying to be healthy. But 20% of the time, why not? Why not? You know, give yourself a bit of a break. So the idea of the 80-20 rule is that 80% of the time you're going to do the right thing, 20% of the time you can have some treats, and it's not going to be the wrong thing because it is about balance. So if your goal is to lose weight, you know, what can you do about that? Should you follow one of these all I eat is cabbage soup diets, or something where you're avoiding certain food groups? Then the answer is no. this is going to be permission for you now by watching this video to eat healthy snacks. Okay, so throughout the day it is okay to snack. You can actually lose weight by eating healthy snacks, and sometimes it can sound like a bit of a myth. Now what I want to do today from this video is give you lots of little nuggets of information, and then at a later stage we can go into far more detail for you. So let me just touch briefly on the snacking, because it all comes as part of your healthy eating plan. So if you've had your breakfast and it's not quite lunchtime and you're getting a little bit on the package side, why not have a piece of fruit or a small portion of nuts, you know, maybe 10 nuts or something. That will actually keep the fires burning inside your metabolism. And it has been scientifically proven that this can make it, you know, you burn your calories faster, because obviously if you're starving and then you eat something, your body's going to grip onto that, because we still haven't forgotten the old feast and famine from when we used to hunt years and years ago. You know, sometimes you'd hunt and you'd have a multitude, loads of food one day, and then the next day it might be nothing. So your body will act in a way that it's assuming that you're not going to have any more calories coming in. So in order for you to keep those fires burning, keep snacking through the day, okay? Eat your healthy, nutritious vegetables and your foods with no labels. Follow your 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time, you're going to be really mindful of what you're eating. 20% of the time, you can have some treats. And basically, just do the things that your gut tells you, because the chances are you do know what you should be doing. And the chances are that, you know, if you sort of think, I should really drink more water today, then that's telling you that for a reason, okay? So do listen to yourself and think, just have a glass of water. If you want to put a little drop of squash in it, that's sugar-free squash, you know, it's not going to be the end of the world. If you're someone that really doesn't like water, then have a little drop of sugar-free squash in there, but get your water inside you. So there's so many things. We could sit here all day, tell you about eating on a healthy budget, and so eating healthily and eating on a budget, but you just need to use your sense really. So eat your vegetables, eat your fruit, eat your proteins and your carbohydrates, and give it a nice balance. Your body will start to sort itself out really quickly. If you're somebody that you feel every time you eat a carbohydrate you gain a load of weight, your body's got to kind of retrain itself a little bit. So don't avoid them, but just keep everything to a minimum. So do what it is that you know you need to do. So I wish you lots and lots of luck and lots of health. Let us know how you're getting on, because, you know, we're here to motivate and inspire you. And I hope that you found this video lots of use, and you're now able to go out and to keep the costs down by eating less packaged foods, and to make sure that I'll tell you another quick little tip that's just popped straight into my head, is that if at the end of your shop you go to or maybe even at the beginning, you go to there's always little reduced areas that you can go to buy the reduced, you know, it might go out of date the next day. So if you've got a packet of carrots that are going to go out of date the next day, there's going to be nothing wrong with those whatsoever. You could go home, cook them, and you could freeze them, and you've saved yourself. I mean, sometimes they're just for a few pence or a few dollars, depending where you watch this in the world. Just, you know, so much cheaper than you would ever find if it was like in the freshest ingredients. So I hope this has helped you, and I wish you the very best of health.